And welcome to our A.G.F.C. Electron pub doors are open. Come on in, grab your favorite seat, grab your favorite snack, your favorite drink. Got your poachers in the B cup this Sunday morning. How's everybody doing? Ready to kick this off? Ah, yeah. All right. Sunday morning. Here we go. Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon. This is Sunday, uh, 15th, January 15th, 2023. 2023 is here amongst us. The weather's wreaking havoc on my system. And yeah, trying to get one system connected to the internet while the other's connected and not working out very well here, as usual. My friend Mystic 22222. My friend, how have you been? I'm here, but I don't have camera or mic. That's all right, my friend. That's all right. We're going to be delving into Book of Leviticus. Yeah, going into, what Leviticus is all about. It's about our giving offering, our way to God by offering. Yes. So with that being said, let me finish getting myself put together here. How you been, Mystic? I hope you're well. I hope the kids are well. Yeah, I'm on a bit of a different system than what we were doing our last live stream. I lost my Ultra 4K camera. The Book of Laws and Instructions for the Temple Priest. Base says hi. Okay. Yes, you're right. It is a book of instructions and laws for the uh, the temple priests or the children. I need new glasses.
The third book of Moses called.
Okay. Oh, did I lose you, Mystic? Anyway. So yeah, we're going to be delving ourselves into. Oh, my internet connection just came back on here. What do you know? Give me a second, everybody. Let me get into. Oh no, that's not it. Okay, there we go. Let's go here, there, and we go over here. Journey with Bryan. Okay, I'm here. I'm here. Leviticus is the book of the tribes of Leviticus, who were chosen to be the priests to the Hebrews, who were the priests to the rest of the world. Thank you, Mystic. We never lost your. Oh, was good. Okay, good. Now that I am back here, I can see my YouTube side now. Okay, great. For a minute there, I only had the restring. So, my friends, let's go into a little word of prayer first. Lord Jesus Christ, our Heavenly Father in heaven, as we bow our heads and our eyes to you, we lift up our hands in praise. We thank you for this wonderful day, Father. We thank you for this life that you've bestowed upon us, all your blessings. And as we both dive into and journey into the book of Leviticus, I ask you that you, again, have our eyes open. So as we read, we can see the words. We have our ears open so we can hear the words. Our minds and our hearts open so we can understand and comprehend them. So that our teaching, our learning from these words will fill our souls and our spirit and our lives. Again, Father, we ask you to guide us, protect us, and forgive us. In Jesus Christ's holy name we pray this. Amen. All right. So we are going to be going into this as an introduction to the book of Leviticus. So we're going to be doing an electronic reading, of course, because nobody wants to hear me stumble through the Bible's words, God's word. That's all I do, stumble through. So with no further ado.
Leviticus, chapter 1. And the Lord called unto Moses, and spake unto him out of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man of you bring an offering unto the Lord, ye shall bring your offering of the cattle, even of the herd, and of the flock. If his offering be a burnt sacrifice of the herd, let him offer a male without blemish. He shall offer it of his own voluntary will at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord. And he shall put his hand upon the head of the burnt offering, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. And he shall kill the bullock before the Lord, and the priests, Aaron's sons, shall bring the blood, and sprinkle the blood round about upon the altar that is by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall flay the burnt offering, and cut it into his pieces. And the sons of Aaron the priest shall put fire upon the altar, and lay the wood in order upon the fire. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall lay the parts, the head, and the fat, in order upon the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. But his inwards and his legs shall he wash in water, and the priest shall burn all on the altar, to be a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savour unto the Lord. And if his offering be of the flocks, namely of the sheep, or of the goats, for a burnt sacrifice, he shall bring it a male without blemish. And he shall kill it on the side of the altar northward before the Lord. And the priests, Aaron's sons, shall sprinkle his blood round about upon the altar. And he shall cut it into his pieces with his head and his fat, and the priest shall lay them in order on the wood that is on the fire, which is upon the altar. But he shall wash the inwards and the legs with water, And the priest shall bring it all and burn it upon the altar. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And if the burnt sacrifice for his offering to the Lord be of fowls, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves, or of young pigeons. And the priest shall bring it unto the altar, and wring off his head, and burn it on the altar. And the blood thereof shall be wrung out at the side of the altar. And he shall pluck away his crop with his feathers, and cast it beside the altar on the east part, by the place of the ashes. And he shall cleave it with the wings thereof, but shall not divide it asunder. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar, upon the wood that is upon the fire. It is a burnt sacrifice, an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. Leviticus chapter 2.
So with Leviticus chapter 1, we were learning about the burnt offerings. The way to God is sacrifice to burnt offering. And that was describing the instructions on how to prepare that offering.
And when any will offer a meat offering unto the Lord, his offering shall be of fine flour, and he shall pour oil upon it, and put frankincense thereon. And he shall bring it to Aaron's sons, the priests. And he shall take thereout his handful of the flour thereof, and of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it upon the altar, to be an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And the remnant of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire. And if thou bring an oblation of a meat offering baken in the oven, it shall be unleavened cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, or unleavened wafers anointed with oil. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baken in a pan, it shall be of fine flour unleavened mingled with oil. Thou shalt part it in pieces, and pour oil thereon. It is a meat offering. And if thy oblation be a meat offering baken in the frying pan, it shall be made of fine flour with oil. And thou shalt bring the meat offering that is made of these things unto the Lord. And when it is presented unto the priest, he shall bring it unto the altar. And the priest shall take from the meat offering a memorial thereof, and shall burn it upon the altar. It is an offering made by fire, of a sweet savor unto the Lord. And that which is left of the meat offering shall be Aaron's and his sons. It is a thing most holy of the offerings of the Lord made by fire. No meat offering which ye shall bring unto the Lord shall be made with leaven, for ye shall burn no leaven, nor any honey, in any offering of the Lord made by fire. As for the oblation of the firstfruits, ye shall offer them unto the Lord, but they shall not be burnt on the altar for a sweet savor. And every oblation of thy meat offering shalt thou season with salt. Neither shalt thou suffer the salt of the covenant of thy God to be lacking from thy meat offering. With all thine offerings thou shalt offer salt. And if thou offer a meat offering of thy firstfruits unto the Lord, thou shalt offer for the meat offering of thy firstfruits green ears of corn dried by the fire, even corn beaten out of full ears. And thou shalt put oil upon it, and lay frankincense thereon. It is a meat offering. And the priest shall burn the memorial of it, part of the beaten corn thereof, and part of the oil thereof, with all the frankincense thereof. It is an offering made by fire unto the Lord.
So with those first two chapters, is there any questions you have, Mystic, or anything you would like to add to this? I'm asking you because you seem to be the only one with me right now. Reason for not burning any because it's represented as sin. Okay, I understand. Thank you, Misty. I know these chapters are going pretty quick. I said in the title we're going to go to chapter 3. We may continue on to chapter 6.
Leviticus chapter 3. And if his oblation be a sacrifice of peace offering, if he offer it of the herd, whether it be a male or female, he shall offer it without blemish before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron's sons, the priests, shall sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is on them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver with the kidneys. It shall he take away. And Aaron's sons shall burn it on the altar upon the burnt sacrifice, which is upon the wood that is on the fire. It is an offering made by fire of a sweet savour unto the Lord. And if his offering for a sacrifice of peace offering unto the Lord be of the flock, male or female, he shall offer it without blemish. If he offer a lamb for his offering, then shall he offer it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of his offering, and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation. And Aaron's sons shall sprinkle the blood thereof round about upon the altar. And he shall offer of the sacrifice of the peace offering an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat thereof, and the whole rump. It shall he take off hard by the backbone, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver with the kidneys. It shall he take away. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire unto the Lord. And if his offering be a goat, then he shall offer it before the Lord. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of it, and kill it before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the sons of Aaron shall sprinkle the blood thereof upon the altar round about. And he shall offer thereof his offering, even an offering made by fire unto the Lord, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver with the kidneys. It shall he take away. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar. It is the food of the offering made by fire for a sweet savour. All the fat is the Lord's. It shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings, that ye eat neither fat nor blood. Leviticus chapter 4. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a soul shall sin through ignorance against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which ought not to be done, and shall do against any of them, if the priest that is anointed do sin according to the sin of the people, then let him bring for his sin which he hath sinned a young bullock without blemish unto the Lord for a sin offering. And he shall bring the bullock unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord, and shall lay his hand upon the bullock's head, and kill the bullock before the Lord. And the priest that is anointed shall take of the bullock's blood, and bring it to the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle of the blood 7 times before the Lord, before the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before the Lord, which is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour all the blood of the bullock at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall take off from it all the fat of the bullock for the sin offering, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, which is by the flanks, and the caul above the liver with the kidneys. It shall he take away, as it was taken off from the bullock of the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall burn them upon the altar of the burnt offering. And the skin of the bullock and all his flesh, with his head and with his legs, and his inwards and his dung, even the whole bullock shall he carry forth without the camp unto a clean place, where the ashes are poured out, and burn him on the wood with fire. Where the ashes are poured out shall he be burnt. And if the whole congregation of Israel sin through ignorance, and the thing be hid from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done somewhat against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which should not be done, and are guilty, when the sin which they have sinned against it is known, then the congregation shall offer a young bullock for the sin, and bring him before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock before the Lord, and the bullock shall be killed before the Lord. And the priest that is anointed shall bring of the bullock's blood to the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall dip his finger in some of the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before the Lord, even before the veil. And he shall put some of the blood upon the horns of the altar which is before the Lord, that is in the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall pour out all the blood at the bottom of the altar of the burnt offering, which is at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And he shall take all his fat from him, and burn it upon the altar. And he shall do with the bullock as he did with the bullock for a sin offering, so shall he do with this. And the priest shall make an atonement for them, and it shall be forgiven them. And he shall carry forth the bullock without the camp, and burn him as he burned the first bullock. It is a sin offering for the congregation. When a ruler hath sinned, and done somewhat through ignorance against any of the commandments of the Lord his God concerning things which should not be done, and is guilty, or if his sin, wherein he hath sinned, come to his knowledge, he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a male without blemish. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the goat, and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before the Lord. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out his blood at the bottom of the altar of burnt offering. And he shall burn all his fat upon the altar, as the fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall make an atonement for him as concerning his sin, and it shall be forgiven him. And if any one of the common people sin through ignorance, while he doeth somewhat against any of the commandments of the Lord concerning things which ought not to be done, and be guilty, or if his sin which he hath sinned come to his knowledge, then he shall bring his offering, a kid of the goats, a female without blemish, for his sin which he hath sinned. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay the sin offering in the place of the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood thereof with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savour unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for him, and it shall be forgiven him. And if he bring a lamb for a sin offering, he shall bring it a female without blemish. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and slay it for a sin offering in the place where they kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and shall pour out all the blood thereof at the bottom of the altar. And he shall take away all the fat thereof, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them upon the altar, according to the offerings made by fire unto the Lord. And the priest shall make an atonement for his sin that he hath committed, and it shall be forgiven him. Leviticus chapter 5. And if a soul sin, and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he hath seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean creeping things, and if it be hidden from him, he also shall be unclean and guilty. Or if he touch the uncleanness of man, whatsoever uncleanness it be, that a man shall be defiled withal, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty. Or if a soul swear, pronouncing with his lips to do evil, or to do good, whatsoever it be that a man shall pronounce with an oath, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty in one of these. And it shall be, when he shall be guilty in one of these things, that he shall confess that he hath sinned in that thing. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Lord for his sin which he hath sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb or a kid of the goats for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his sin. And if he be not able to bring a lamb, then he shall bring for his trespass which he hath committed 2 turtle doves, or 2 young pigeons unto the Lord, one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And he shall bring them unto the priest, who shall offer that which is for the sin offering first, and wring off his head from his neck, but shall not divide it asunder. And he shall sprinkle of the blood of the sin offering upon the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood shall be wrung out at the bottom of the altar. It is a sin offering. And he shall offer the second for a burnt offering, according to the manner. And the priest shall make an atonement for him for his sin which he hath sinned, and it shall be forgiven him. But if he be not able to bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he that sinned shall bring for his offering the 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a sin offering. He shall put no oil upon it, neither shall he put any frankincense thereon, for it is a sin offering. Then shall he bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his handful of it, even a memorial thereof, and burn it on the altar according to the offerings made by fire unto the Lord. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for him as touching his sin that he had sinned in one of these, and it shall be forgiven him. And the remnant shall be the priest's as a meat offering. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, If a soul commit a trespass, and sin through ignorance in the holy things of the Lord, then he shall bring for his trespass unto the Lord a ram without blemish out of the flocks, with thy estimation by shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for a trespass offering. And he shall make amends for the harm that he hath done in the holy thing, and shall add the 5th part thereto, and give it unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering, and it shall be forgiven him. And if a soul sin and commit any of these things which are forbidden to be done by the commandments of the Lord, though he wist it not, yet is he guilty, and shall bear his iniquity. And he shall bring a ram without blemish out of the flock, with thy estimation, for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for him concerning his ignorance wherein he erred, and wist it not, and it shall be forgiven him. It is a trespass offering. He hath certainly trespassed against the Lord. Leviticus chapter 6. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, If a soul sin, and commit a trespass against the Lord, and lie unto his neighbor in that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or hath deceived his neighbor, or have found that which was lost, and lieth concerning it, and sweareth falsely, in any of all these that a man doeth, sinning therein, then it shall be, because he hath sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he took violently away, or the thing which he hath deceitfully gotten, or that which was delivered him to keep, or the lost thing which he found, or all that about which he hath sworn falsely. He shall even restore it in the principal, and shall add the 5th part more thereto, and give it unto him to whom it appertaineth in the day of his trespass offering. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto the Lord, a ram without blemish out of the flock, with thy estimation, for a trespass offering. unto the priest. And the priest shall make an atonement for him before the Lord, and it shall be forgiven him for anything of all that he hath done in trespassing therein. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering. It is the burnt offering because of the burning upon the altar all night unto the morning, and the fire of the altar shall be burning in it. And the priest shall put on his linen garment, and his linen breeches shall he put upon his flesh, and take up the ashes which the fire hath consumed with the burnt offering on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. And he shall put off his garments, and put on other garments, and carry forth the ashes without the camp unto a clean place. And the fire upon the altar shall be burning in it, it shall not be put out. And the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and lay the burnt offering in order upon it. And he shall burn thereon the fat of the peace offerings. The fire shall ever be burning upon the altar, it shall never go out. And this is the law of the meat offering. The sons of Aaron shall offer it before the Lord before the altar. And he shall take of it his handful of the flour of the meat offering, and the oil thereof, and all the frankincense which is upon the meat offering, and shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savour, even the memorial of it unto the Lord. And the remainder thereof shall Aaron and his sons eat. With unleavened bread shall it be eaten in the holy place, in the court of the tabernacle of the congregation. They shall eat it. It shall not be baken with leaven. I have given it unto them for their portion of my offerings made by fire. It is most holy, as is the sin offering, and as the trespass offering. All the males among the children of Aaron shall eat of it. It shall be a statute forever in your generations concerning the offerings of the Lord made by fire. Every one that toucheth them shall be holy. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, This is the offering of Aaron and of his sons, which they shall offer unto the Lord in the day when he is anointed, the 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a meat offering perpetual, half of it in the morning, and half thereof at night. In a pan it shall be made with oil, and when it is baken, thou shalt bring it in, and the baken pieces of the meat offering shalt thou offer for a sweet savour unto the Lord. And the priest of his sons that is anointed in his stead shall offer it. It is a statute forever unto the Lord. It shall be wholly burnt. For every meat offering for the priest shall be wholly burnt. It shall not be eaten. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, shall the sin offering be killed before the Lord. It is most holy. The priest that offereth for sin shall eat it. In the holy place shall it be eaten, in the court of the tabernacle of the congregation. Whatsoever shall touch the flesh thereof shall be holy. And when there is sprinkled of the blood thereof upon any garment, thou shalt wash that whereon it was sprinkled in the holy place. But the earthen vessel wherein it is sodden shall be broken, and if it be sodden in a brazen pot, it shall be both scoured and rinsed in water. All the males among the priests shall eat thereof. It is most holy. And no sin offering, whereof any of the blood is brought into the tabernacle of the congregation to reconcile with all in the holy place, shall be eaten. It shall be burnt in the fire. Leviticus chapter 6.
Okay, so that was 1 through 6. Fascinating to learn about the burnt offering rituals that the priests of the temples and like Mystic was telling me um, have to endure and go through. Let me get back out of this here. Shut that off. There I am. There you are, Bryan. Mimi 98, DG Outdoors, welcome. Welcome, my friends. How you all doing today? Like I was just saying, it's just you've been talking notes, right? I've been taking notes. I've been flying off the wing, taking notes, huh? I've never been one of my strong points, Mystic. Which I should. I really should research a lot more than I do and take more notes than I do. Because there's a lot that I don't know. There really is a lot that I don't know, and I still got to learn. Like you so generously corrected me about the Leviticus being these sacrifices will be resumed this year. You believe so? It seems like, and my friends, let's, got DG Outdoors just popped in the back there. He's a little sideways. Your camera's a little sideways, DG. There you go. Yeah, you're right. I do need to start taking more better notes. More notes. I need to start taking notes. But with no further ado, as he's popped in, let's go ahead and invite our friend DG Outdoors onto the channel. My friend, how are you?
I'm good. Just uploading videos to YouTube. That's what took me so long to get over here. So
I see. I see. You doing more with your airsoft? How you
yeah,
doing, May May?
Doing good.
the video I uploaded, I also did a short course on the red dot sights that I have on 2 of them. I'm still waiting on the CV Life one to get here, but those are shooting really well now. Between the heavier BBs and the red dot sights, they're shooting pretty good.
Mystic's
So,
asking you, is it the seismic shifting? I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
What do you mean by
Oh, maybe because of the angle of my camera. I didn't have the auto rotate on.
you know, the seismic shifting? Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Okay.
But it's fascinating to learn different things about the Bible, the truth of things within it, and like Mystic was teaching me that you know Leviticus. My study Bible was saying it's the way to God, but it's actually the laws and rules for the priests in the temple to follow for offerings of their sins. Is that correct, Mystic?
Yeah.
And and how Moses was sent to teach him this. So, what's your day's been like? You guys,
Um.
you guys work today, or you guys
Yeah.
have today off?
No, I work today. I'm off tomorrow.
I see.
I still got to do video on my tactical vest. Um. But
Oh, that's right. I seen you got that.
yeah, I put a short up. Actually, I'll show it to you guys right now.
Mystic is saying yes, and several other things about keeping themselves and the temple ritually clean.
I put my patches on there. If I can get it out of the
Ah,
way.
very cool. Very cool.
Yep.
There you go.
And then I've got some. the ones that I'm gonna send you on Friday. It's the half
That's
Punisher, half Spartan spell.
okay. Cool.
You're gonna need a black one. And then
Uh,
you asked for that one right there.
that's the one. That's the one I
Yep.
like. Thank
Yep.
you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it just seems like a very messy thing to go through to keep yourselves and your temple clean and right with God. But I mean, no more messier than dressing up, skinning an animal, dressing it up to feed your family. But now they just used ramp, right, Mystic?
I think that it depended on your social class, I think. I may be
Well,
wrong.
the
Because
Levite
hmm,
now the Levites were um chosen by God, right? As a what did God choose the Levites for? Can you answer that, Mystic? Because were they part of the chosen people? Do you know that answer, DJ?
I really don't know the answer to that one, to be honest.
Are you eating candy?
Rolos.
Rolos, love Rolos. Those things are awesome. You ever heard of Toblerone?
Yep.
Was it almost like a Rolo?
It looks like a row of pyramids. It's all some milk
Hmm.
chocolate, Swedish.
I've had them before. They're
I've
delish.
heard of Carmelos.
Go back and reread earlier. Tribes of Levites were the priests of the Hebrews. That's right. You were telling me that. Who were the priests of the rest of the world.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Mystic. Shut that off.
We can't hear you. Bryan, you're just turned your audio off. Yeah, you don't have any audio, homie. Nothing's coming through your microphone. I can't hear you through your microphone. Whenever you switch something off, it turned off your microphone. Yeah, you turned off your microphone. I don't know whatever you clicked off earlier, but okay. I don't know whatever you clicked before shut off your audio. I'm not hearing it on my end. Nope. Not hearing anything.
There we go.
Right there.
A little bit of troubleshooting, never hurt anybody. And
Right.
you know this channel is reeked with technical difficulties by its owner.
I mean, I know a little bit of sign language. We could have talked it over.
Can you mime? Mrs. says, "Can I mime?"
Yeah.
No. But where were we? What was I asking you? Oh, your weather in Indiana. How's it going out there?
It was nice and sunny today. It was chilly this morning, but it's probably a good 50 degrees this afternoon. So, yeah.
What was that? Mystica saying, hearing challenged Mike, you're doing the Marcel Marceau show.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, man. I've just been hoping and praying my power doesn't go out again, and my internet, because my internet's gone out twice now.
Oh,
So
man.
I've just been hoping and praying. The
So,
weather out here is bad.
is it raining
Soft.
right now?
It's raining, windy, just all around gray and dark, and we had severe thunderstorms roll through earlier and knocked out my internet. And I was right before I was going back on, right before I was go live. My internet knocked out, and I was doing
Yeah.
everything I could to try to get it back on. So, been able to get out and do any shooting?
Yeah, the reason that it took me a while is I was actually uploading the video that I was editing whenever you hopped on live.
Yeah, I've seen you did another comparison, accuracy comparison.
I just took the guns and shot them a little bit and showed that they're actually shooting good now with the red dot sights on them. So I can hit a box that wide at, I don't know, 15 yards. I think is what is that little vacuum cleaner box that we had. I just keep turning it around and shooting at it some more. So.
Yeah.
But I was drooping the BBs, so I mean it ain't, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's something,
Not bad for two like $50 airsoft rifles. So.
But how far do you think those BBs will fly?
I shot them from my porch. So on the side of my shed is a piece of sheet metal where they tacked it on there to cover up where the wood was rotting on the bottom of it, the plywood. Mm-hmm. Maybe 20 yards away, maybe 25. I can't remember. One day I'll go out. Tomorrow I might go out and show that I can hit that consistently from my porch. Just because they're plastic BBs, so I just shoot them at everything, and I'll just tink, tink, tink. You know. But you'll watch them. You can watch them through the red dot lob at the target.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
You
know, I don't.
I'm getting itchy. I'm getting my trigger finger is getting itchy. I gotta shoot.
Your last video, I wanted to comment on the one that you did where you were shooting and the German Shepherd was running in front of you and stuff.
I know.
Yeah. The comments were turned off, so you couldn't really comment on it. But when the video, I tried to change my notification settings because I wouldn't get your notifications, but because that video was made for kids or whatever, it wouldn't let me turn on the notification.
No. I try and experiment with that, and just to see, what the change would do to the algorithm. It's boosted it a little bit, making it for children, child friendly, which I did my best to do. But it shuts off the comments.
It shuts off the comments, and then I can't click on that little notification bell and notify myself for when the videos come up. Because
I'm not gonna. Yeah, dog needs a nerf deer to chase. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a good boy. We had him all, for the weekend here. Yeah.
How far were you shooting at?
That was 35. That was 30 feet.
30 feet, so 3 feet in a yard.
So roughly about 15 yards.
That's good distance, but 15 yards you were hitting consistent with that thing.
Yeah. It's accurate. It is accurate once, I mean, where I have the velocity set at it, you get 10 great shots. But after that, the velocity drops down tremendously. But I can always turn that velocity down to where I can shoot, all 19 rounds with some, 300 feet per second.
Yeah.
At 300 feet, 305, you can shoot all 19 rounds on one CO2 container. But where I got it turned up, you get about 10 great shots, and then it's like a paintball. It's like a paintball gun.
Can you shoot paintballs out of that thing?
You can. I would never do it because even at 300 feet per second, you get that paint breaking up inside your inside there. You got to take the whole thing apart and clean it out, and it's not like a paintball gun really, to where you can just squeegee all the paint out of the barrel, and now the gun don't work that way with this TCR.
Yeah.
It's got an internal breech block, and it's meant for hard kinetic rounds. It's meant for the pepper ball. It's meant for pepper ball.
Yeah. I don't know if a lot of people on my channel really like all the airsoft stuff that I'm putting out, but I do what I want. It's my channel, so.
That's right. That's right. You don't worry about what other people want, really. You just do have your fun.
Oh yeah.
And if people want to stick around about it, people want to stick around and watch it and enjoy it, that's up to them, They don't,
really,
they don't.
It's an air gun. I mean, it may not shoot pellets or BBs, but it's still an air rifle. No matter
What's
what.
that?
The airsoft gun. It's still an air rifle.
Oh yeah, it's still an air gun.
They make
It's a Springer. It's a Springer, but Springers are air guns.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, you can actually buy.
Yeah. I mean, they're all air guns.
Have you got any more products from the shooting club thing that you're a member of?
No, not much. Airsoft barrels are rifled. Are they rifled? Are yours?
So I have like I have airsoft rifles that have smoothbore, and I have some that are rifled. Like my Daisy 880, I believe, is a rifled barrel. And you want to talk
But
about
I think
controversy? You talk about they're like, oh, a smoothbore barrel's not as accurate and all that stuff. Which is true. You're not going to get the distance or the spin on the, but
mhm.
you know.
But what about your AR-15 and your AK-47? Are they rifle barrels?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're smoothbore because they're
Okay.
shooting plastic projectiles. Now, don't quote me on that 'cause I'm not really sure, but when I get done, I'm going to research that. I'm pretty sure they're all smoothbore barrels. The reason I like Game Face so much is because it's a Crossman product. So I'm buying a product from an air gun manufacturer. I'm not saying that UK Arms isn't bad. It's also like if something broke on it, at least I can call the company and maybe get something replaced or whatever. Now, I do have a question. So I'm putting the reflex sight on my AR-15 one, but you can't take the front sight off. You can take the rear sight off, but not the front sight.
Well, as long as hmm.
So when I'm looking through it, because I put one of those other red dot sights on there, and I pretty much have to line that red dot up with the front post of that.
It's called co-witnessing. Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as your reflex dot will co-witness to your front sight, you should be all right.
Well, and they make mounts
know,
that you can buy a set. They're like $21 on Amazon, but it's got like a low, a mid, and a really high one, to where you can put your sight up higher to match the front blade.
Mystic says a Dremel can remove anything. Reflux or reflex?
I think it's reflex. I keep calling it reflux.
It's reflex.
Yeah,
it's reflex.
Yeah,
It's
I misspeak a lot of times.
basically a holographic. It's a holographic projection onto a reflex screen, reflex
I'm hoping
glass.
that site will be here tomorrow. I'm hoping. When the CB Life guy got a hold of me, and he's like, it'll be 7 days, and I don't know how many days ago that was. So I'm
Well,
antsy
since
waiting.
my Facebook account got hacked, and that guy pretty much locked me out of my account. He changed my password. He changed everything. I can't get into it. He using my name, my face, and my page to sell puppies and
That was such a weird thing.
and asking people for their Venmo and their Cash App and their PayPal account and all the rest of this crap and under my name. But
Well, yeah, he sent me that picture of you, and I was like, cool. They told you, and yeah, that was so. I'm like, wait a minute.
Ever since then, what was I gonna say about my?
You haven't been able to get the CB Life guy to contact you again.
CB Life, the Product Shooting Club, they've all pretty much dropped me.
One thing I am going to switch though, on the UK Arms one came with a really cheap flashlight. It's like blue.
Yeah.
You can't see nothing on that, so I think I might go to Amazon and buy a really cheap flashlight with a adapter.
Reflux is what gives me heartburn.
Yeah. I say reflex. I say it all wrong all the time, but
I got bad acid reflux. I get it bad.
Oh yeah.
I'd be laying there asleep, and all that acid comes rolling up my esophagus.
I've had it so bad I can't throw up before.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah. I have a spotting scope. I haven't talked about this yet. Yeah.
Oh, how come you haven't done a review on it?
I really haven't used it. From where the power line strip goes down
Excuse me.
through there, that's about good 400 yards to view down in there, and I picked it up at Harbor Freight. It was like $50, and I've always wanted one, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money on one. I don't even remember the brand or anything right now, but I tried to look through it, and I have a hard time seeing through it right now. I got to get used to it, which is part of the reason why I haven't made a video on it yet. Is I really need to get out and play with it, and I hate binoculars and things like that, anyways, because I have glasses, so it
Yeah.
makes it hard to use them. So
Right. I know. I get the same
I'd rather
problem.
look for my gun scope and spot. At least I can see whatever I'm looking at.
Yeah. Gun scopes, you don't need glasses.
No.
But at least I don't.
I did learn
And my
something
eyesight's
the
pretty
other
bad.
day. With my Pinty red dot sight. It's actually a red green dot sight, and
Yeah.
sometimes I'll go outside in the dark, and even if it's real low light conditions, I'll turn on the green dot sometimes and look through it, and I cannot see the target as well as if I turn on the red dot. There's something about that color that
Right.
just bugs me, and I don't know what
Right.
it is. I'm not colorblind or anything. It's just a
I
difference in color.
actually prefer the green over the red. But since I got the A2 laser right in front of the reflux sight, I put the red on so I can put that green laser on and see them both at the same time.
And you just line them up together, and then you hit wherever you're in.
I in the reflux sight and just line that laser up with the reflux sight.
Why do you call it eyeing it in? I've always wondered that instead of sighting it in. I guess it's the same thing, but
It's the same thing. Eye it in, sight it in, because you're eyeing it, you're sighting. You're I don't know.
am I the only one that's commented on you saying that, or is there other people like
You're the only one who's commented on me saying that, I guess.
what friends are for? They call you out like on stuff, but
What a friend's for, that's right.
so yeah.
Well, listen, we're at an hour and 58 minutes. Hour and
9 minutes.
hour and 9 minutes. Hour and 9 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got a German Shepherd to help take care of.
All right, man.
I got a wife over here looking at me and smiling, and because she says hi.
Hello. Well, I
Hey,
got
say
corn
hi.
dogs that are cooling off, so I better go eat.
All right, guys. Listen, we'll talk to you guys in a little while, and eyeballing it in means sighting down the barrel to get your first rough alignment before scoping. Thank you again, Mystic. Our book of knowledge.
So on my next video, when I said we're gonna eye this thing in, you know, it's in honor of our rank.
All right. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and take off here and let you guys take off, and you have a good night, okay?
You too, buddy.
All right, DG. Tell May I say good night.
Night.
Good night, May. All right, brother.
Later.
Yeah, Mystic, thank you for being here and helping me with this again and filling us in on where I've gone wrong and filling us with your knowledge of the good book here and our air gun fun. So, with that being said, my friends, thank you again for joining us this Sunday, for our Bible study and a little bit of hanging out and air gun fun talk. We'll do this again next Sunday. So until then, I want to wish everybody a great day, a good night. Say God bless you
And you have fun too, Mystic. Until next time, y'all know the rest. Have a great day.